I'm Cynthia Pope with Entrepreneur here at the California African American Museum in Los Angeles. We're here this morning for the signing of the book by Senator Barack Obama, The Audacity to Hope. This forum is hosted by the Urban Issue Breakfast. We thank you so very much for watching. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great morning.
Good morning. You know, in my life, I've had the pleasure of introducing many people, but today is truly an honor. You know, our guest is a special person in America today. He's a community organizer, he was a civil rights lawyer, and now a member of the United States Senate. A little bit of history on the senator. He graduated from Columbia University in 1983. After graduation, he moved to Chicago, not to go and make money, but to work in organizing poor communities. In 1995, he graduated from the Harvard Law School. He was not just a member of the Harvard Law Review, he was the president of the Harvard Law Review. In 1996, he was elected to the Illinois Senate, where he did a wonderful job, worked with Republicans and Democrats, and built coalitions to move his agenda forward. When the senator first came to my attention, he was then candidate Obama, and he was speaking at the 2004 Democratic National Convention. I had the pleasure of being in the audience that day when he gave that speech that moved America. He spoke so compellingly, so eloquently about his vision for America, what true values were, and about bringing America together. Not surprisingly, shortly thereafter, he was elected in a landslide to the United States Senate. Today, he serves as the only African-American member of the United States Senate, and only the fifth in the history. Some of us are hoping for a sixth in Harold Ford to give him some company. In addition to his public life, he's a husband and a loving father of two girls. And as if that was not enough, in his spare time, he's an author. His first book, Dreams of My Father, became a bestseller. And the book he's going to talk to us about today, no doubt, will also become a bestseller. Anthony held up this picture of Senator Obama. This is Time magazine saying, this fellow may be the next president of the United States. And my comment is, America should be so lucky. Without further ado, let me bring to you, please welcome Senator Barack Obama.
Thank you. Thank you, LA. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. What a nice turnout. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. First of all, let me thank the California African American Museum for this beautiful facility. I want to make sure that everybody comes back and supports this wonderful institution, because there are wonderful exhibits and wonderful activities here, and this is the kind of cultural institution that I think we all want to be supportive of. I want to thank Tom from Semper Energy for being a co-sponsor of this event, to the Urban Issues Breakfast Forum, and Tony, thank you for all that you do in terms of elevating the dialogue in the community. We very much appreciate that. And I'm sure that Tony, all of you continue to participate in the issues forums, because there are some terrific speakers that come in on a regular basis, and if you are interested in that, you should be getting in touch with him. I think some literature was passed out on the way in, so you should participate. And then most of all, I want to thank SO1 Books. And let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story about SO1 Books. Now, I have to admit that we've been selling out around the country during this book tour because I've been getting a little attention lately. But you know, I think all of you know, my mother used to say, you know, look out for the folks who brung you to the dance, right? That's who you're supposed to dance with. And everybody, you know, you're always popular when you're on top. But you got to remember who was looking out for you when nobody knew who you were. And the last time I was on a book tour in Los Angeles, it was on my first book, Dreams from My Father. I had not even been elected to the state senate in Illinois. I was a civil rights attorney and a law professor. I had written this book, 33-year-old man, and I think we sold like 10,000 copies. Which maybe sounds like a lot to some folks, but doesn't set the world on fire in publishing. And so we did a small book tour, and SO1 decided to host a book tour, and I think there must have been 10 people there. And 5 of them worked at SO1. But they treated me like I was, you know, John Grisham or something. Like I was Toni Morrison. I mean, they were so gracious, and they had everything set up, and they stayed and listened, even though, you know, everybody was not paying attention. And so when we decided what was going to be the venue in which we spoke, and who was the bookseller that we would affiliate with when we came to Los Angeles, it wasn't Borders and it wasn't Barnes & Noble, although I love them and I hope they're selling a lot of books. But I wanted to make sure that I was supportive of SO1. So thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I would love to speak at length and answer a lot of questions, but time's a little limited because I'm going to have to take the time to sign everybody's book, and that's probably going to take at least an hour and a half. So we're restricting my time a little bit. But let me tell you a little bit about the book and how I see it fitting with the broader message that I'm carrying with me as I travel across the country on behalf of a lot of Democratic candidates. A lot of folks have asked me, where did I get this title, The Audacity of Hope? And some have noticed that that phrase actually appears in the speech that I gave in Boston. Where I talk about the audacity of hope, but I have to confess to everybody here today that I actually pilfered. I stole this line from my pastor, Dr. Jeremiah A. Wright Jr. at Trinity United Church of Christ on the south side of Chicago. Although I attributed it to him, I wasn't plagiarizing. About 18 years ago, I was a young community organizer. I had moved from New York City to the south side of Chicago to work with a group of churches that were trying to deal with the devastation of steel plants that had closed all throughout that region. And tens of thousands of people had been laid off their jobs. The community had suffered severe unemployment. A lot of home foreclosures had occurred. The commercial strips had begun to deteriorate. Drugs, crime, substandard schools, all the problems we think about when we think about inner city America. And so I was working with these churches, and one of the churches that I was getting involved was Trinity. I wasn't yet a member of the church, but I figured that if I was going to get them involved in these community efforts, I should at least attend a service. So I went one Sunday, and the title of Reverend Wright's sermon was The